Now, the first goal is to do 5,250 reps of either squats, lunges, steam bugs, exercises that work the legs. And I mainly want to focus on the quads and the calves too, but the calves I'll just work on them separate as a whole nother goal, right? But for the legs, 5,250 reps, a whole lot, is for the quarter. And today we are 75% of the way through the quarter. That means that we only have 25% left for me to hit my goal. And where am I at so far? So today I'm on the leg goal 50% of the way there. So I'm halfway to my goal. And that means I'm behind. I'm much behind. So what I'm doing here is a progress update, and what I want to do is see where my challenges are. I want to discuss through, why am I so behind? And I took some notes down to help myself reflect. I love writing things down so I can get clear with myself about what's going on and what I want to work on. And it was such a high volume, this goal, that I needed to be doing the exercise frequently, okay? I needed to be getting in a certain amount of reps each day in order to add up to a certain amount each week, in order to add up to a certain amount each month. And since I didn't start off tracking it that way, then I was always behind. And so in May, I really tried to catch up. What I would notice is that on certain days, I would call my leg days, I would go hard and get in a lot of reps. I'd be sore though, so then I wouldn't get another focus on my legs like that until days, maybe a whole week later. So the challenge is that I'm not frequent enough. And so if I can do the leg workouts, if I can get some reps in, do squats and lunges and stuff every single day, it'll add up to the amount that I need on a weekly, monthly basis, and I'll be able to hit such a big goal like that. I'm going to keep the same goal for the next quarter. So I'm deciding that I do want to do that high volume of reps for the legs. I just am deciding that I'm going to have to increase my frequency. So instead of having a leg day in which I go super high on my reps, I'm going to do some reps every single day. And then I may raise intensity on my leg days. However, I got to make sure that I have these daily objectives when it comes to doing some squats, doing some lunges. And so I'm going to incorporate it as a part of my routine. So I'm going to have the same goal next quarter 3. I want to shoot for the 5,250 reps again. But I'm just going to increase frequency. So right now that I still have a few weeks left in this quarter, I'm going to strive to hit the goal, but it's going to be really, really challenging. And I'm going to have to practice. With the time that I have left in this quarter, I'm practicing for next quarter. I'm going to increase the frequency, meaning I'm going to increase the number of times that I work out legs each week. So consistency is my number one, and I have that locked down when it comes to legs, but I need higher frequency for this goal. My second goal is about running, and I'm also behind on this goal. I'm 70% of the way to the goal, and we're 75% through the quarter. So that means I'm not too far behind, but I'm still a little behind. And so similarly, what I want to do is understand my challenges to see how I can resolve this issue. I'm behind. So I set the goal for myself to run 84 miles in the whole quarter. It measures out to about 28 miles each month. 3 months adds up to the 84 miles each quarter. So this is my goal. Now, I had been tracking this one more closely. I had a goal for each week, and I did catch myself falling behind on my weekly goals. which is why I knew when it came to the month end in May. So when May was ending, I didn't hit my 28 miles. So I was aware the whole time, but that's basically what happened. In May, I missed a few runs. So similar to with my legs, like I need more frequency. I need to be running more often. And so I don't need to do these long runs. I don't need to worry about running fast, but I need to do more runs. I need to run more often. And that's going to be the resolution there. I want the same goal for the next quarter, 84 miles over the quarter, aiming for 28 miles each month. And that's going to be the same thing for quarter 3. Now, I definitely will hit this goal, 84 miles for quarter 2. But I want to be able to do it again and again and again. Consistency. And the third goal, which is more of a physique goal, because I want to see some results in my legs. I want to see some growth. I'm only 10% of the way to my goal. So this was the most disappointing. And so what happened? I have to understand how muscle growth works in order to talk about this one. So let's go over this a little bit here. So muscle growth is dependent on hypertrophy. And I was reading that hypertrophy has 3 different factors to it. So hypertrophy seems to be this process in which your body understands that your muscles are currently not sufficient to do the type of work you're doing. So then it decides to go into an adaptation mode. It decides to grow the muscle as a way of putting yourself in a better condition to do the work that you're doing. So hypertrophy has 3 different factors, and mechanical tension is one of them. This is just having a heavy load on a muscle. It puts the muscle into an hypertrophy mode. Another way is the metabolic stress. Metabolic stress. So I just read this, all right? I'm not an expert on this stuff. I just read it, but I'm learning it. And I need to learn this and to be clear on this if I'm going to understand what's my challenge here. How do I grow muscle? And why am I getting stuck with my calves? Mechanical tension is putting heavy loads. Metabolic stress is depleting the muscle of its energy or working the muscle on low energy. But when the muscle runs out of energy, it goes into a hypertrophy mode. And then the third factor here was muscle damage. So the muscle fibers actually tearing, right? The muscle's breaking down. It's damaged, and when it rebuilds, it's rebuilding in hypertrophy. So the point is when we work out, like if I work out my calves and my goal is to get them bigger, my goal is to put my calf muscles into hypertrophy. So I'm either doing it by putting a heavy load on it, that's the mechanical tension, or I'm gassing out my calf muscles, or I'm just straight up breaking them down and they're all damaged. Now, what they said is that when you have muscle damage, you feel it. It's the soreness part. So I definitely do be feeling my soreness on my calves. It does feel like they go low energy too, but I guess I don't really know if that's the case or not. But to me, when I reflect on this, well, I know I don't put too heavy loads on my calves, But when I do lift some weights, like I'm doing deadlift from, especially when I'm doing rowing, I'll have a day where I work on my back and my shoulders. And on that day, I do lift a little bit of weights. And I think that day I'm going to have to do calves. And I've been doing that, but I think that's going to have to continue. So that's my way to get the heavy load in, the mechanical tension. As far as metabolic stress, I know I'm running a lot. I'm doing footwork. So I know I'm gassing out energy in my calves. So I got to continue doing that. And then they are feeling sore, so they're down. So I'm just, it's tough. Like, I understand how this thing goes, but I have to figure out what do I need to do more of, or what changes do I need to make. So to go back to the goal, I wanted to grow a half an inch on my calves. They're at 15 inches. I have 15-inch calves, and I wanted them to go up to 15 and a half inches. However, they barely grew at all. So I'm going to change the goal into a more realistic goal. I'm going to bring that half inch down to a quarter inch, and I want to grow my calves to a quarter inch more than where they are now. And I think that's a more realistic goal. And if I think about what I'm going to have to do some more of, if I run more frequently and I get some footwork in more frequently, I think I'm gonna be able to put more work on the metabolic stress part. And the mechanical tension that I've been adding on to my plan for my calves is, like, I've been using weights for my calves, and that should be the help. So I'm gonna set my goals for quarter 3, do a whole video on that. But this calves ones is a challenging one. I think I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna get more realistic with my goal, and then I'll have another progress update once I'm in quarter 3, and we'll see if this time around I see better results for you guys.
I can't take it no more. I know you can. I just been on rap, missing days with Sam, taking time off the gram, making beats with the tap, put the city on the map. When I blow up, there's no coming back. I got on all black. I'm posted in the back. I know the definition of a fan. Gotta take more time with fam. I